Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's having a great day. And if you're not, if you have anything that you want me to pray about, put it in the comment section if you want to, because I would love to be able to pray about that with you. So, what we're going to be talking about today is something that comes up a lot when discussing Christianity, which is the parallel stories or the copy stories. Some people claim that Jesus, or the story of Jesus, is actually stories that copied other religions or other gods. So, we're going to be going over one of those today by the name of Mithras. So, some of the claims that are out there, or what some people try to say, is that Mithras was born on December 25th. He was born of a virgin. He had 12 followers. He died and was resurrected, and he also died for the entire world. So, or sacrificed himself for the entire world. So, we're going to look at some of those claims and see if there's any truth in it, any evidence behind that, and what that really means, if it even means anything. But one thing I want to point out is when someone does make those kind of claims and they come at you with those kind of claims and say, hey, Jesus is really just copying from other religions. Here's what this website said. Well, ask them what that website is. Ask them to show the evidence that is surrounding that. Ask them to support their claim with some type of information. Because a lot of times this is just word of mouth. Somebody said something, and whether it's true or not, it gets passed along. So let's look at what they have to say. So we're going to do that today. So was Mithras born on December 25th? That is not really certain if he was really born on December 25th or not. There are some claims that it's possible that his worshippers or believers believed he was born on December 25th, or it may have been somebody else that was born on December 25th. But regardless, even if he was born on December 25th, does that even matter? And we're going to make that claim or observation throughout this entire thing is even if it did happen, does it matter anyways? So, for example, if there is a similarity within a story, does that mean that one story copied from the other? No, it doesn't. But we're going to examine each one of these into more detail. So, back to the December 25th. So, even if you could show me that Mithras, or they believe Mithras, was born on December 25th, that still wouldn't really matter to me very much because we don't know when Jesus was born. Yeah, we celebrate his birthday on December 25th. That's when we celebrate it. But we don't know for certain when Jesus was actually born. It doesn't state in the Bible that Jesus was born on December 25th. So even if you were showing me, see, Mithras was born on December 25th. Jesus is copying him. Jesus didn't copy him. We as Christians celebrate his birth on December 25th, not because the Bible said December 25th. So this wouldn't even fit anyways. The other claim is that he was born of a virgin. Now, this one gets a little funny to me because we all know Jesus was born of a virgin. So Mithras, they also believed he was born of a virgin as well. He, story goes, was born of a rock. He came from a little rock. I'm not talking about Dwayne Johnson. I'm talking about a rock, a natural piece of rock. They believe he came from that. So I grant that one actually, because I'm pretty sure that rock probably never had sex. So it was probably a virgin. I can't be for sure 100%, but the rock probably was a virgin. So yeah, Mithra was probably born of a virgin. This gets silly, right? Because when you look at the evidence of that claim, Jesus was born of a virgin, but he copied Mithras because Mithras was born of a virgin. It was born of a rock, story goes. And some story goes is that he was born as a full man. He just came out of the rock as a full dude. So that doesn't fit at all. There's stories that he had 12 followers. Now, did he have 12 followers? There's no documents that support this claim. There's some documents that say that he had one follower, two followers. But even if he did have 12 followers, I don't see that would be as important as in say, hey, nope, Jesus must have copied him at 12 followers. But yeah, there's no claim or document that actually supports that Mithras even had 12 followers. So this actually seems like a lie as well, just trying to make him sound like Jesus. Now, some other things they says is that he sacrificed himself for the entire world. As we know, Jesus died on the cross and he shed his blood as a gift for us. So he paid the punishment for sin with his blood, with his life, and he died on the cross for our sins so that anybody who believes on him would have remission of sins. Well, they say, well, Mithras actually died or he poured out his blood for the world as well. Well, there's no documents that support that either. The only thing they have is that there's something that states that his blood, not his blood, but blood was shed or something of that nature. But they're referring, most scholars believe he's referring back to the only thing that they do know is that they believed he sacrificed a bull. So there's no written document or anything about even about his death at all. So to say that he died and he shed his blood like Jesus shed, it is you're really stretching the truth there, because the only document we have is that they believe he sacrificed a bull. So when you sacrifice a bull, yeah, blood was shed. And that brings us back to another point, is that they believe that he died and was resurrected 3 days later, which seems like it is an obvious lie because there is no documentation of him even dying. We don't know about his death. We don't know what they believe about his death. So if we don't know what they believe about his death, we don't know what they believe about his resurrection, if there was a resurrection or any in that case. The only thing they have really in common that we can give them is that they say that they worshipped him on a Sunday. Okay, well, you got 7 days out of the week. So, okay, you worship on Sunday. Sunday was the first day of the week. It's very important. A lot of people hold that day as very important. So they worship it on Sunday. We worship God now on Sunday. All right, so that's the only similarity you got. All right, so when it comes to these documentations about whether or not Jesus copied Mithras, so the earliest dating that we have for any type of evidence that people worship Mithras, the friendliest, nicest documentation says it might have been evidence as early as maybe 80 AD. But there were no writings left over by these Mithra worshippers. So we got to go based off evidence that maybe surrounded it, like where they may have worshipped. Then they have actual writings later in the other centuries. But well, we only have evidence that maybe 80 AD is the earliest that these people were worshiping Mithras. Well, even if you give them that earliest dating, that's after Christianity. So if anybody's copying anyone, the Mithras worshippers were copying Christianity, not the other way around. My last point is that even if you show similarities, it doesn't mean someone's copying another person. So it's very far stretch that people are trying to copy or try to say Mithras is just like Jesus, and Jesus is really just copying Mithras because, like I said, one, Christianity came first, and two, when you look at the claims more in detail, they either fall flat, there's no evidence to support it, or it's obvious lies. So I hope this video was informational for you guys, and if I mentioned anything wrong, put it in the comment section. But yeah, so if anytime anybody comes to you and has these type of claims, ask them to support the claim. They're going to do the same thing to you. If you claim anything about Jesus or anything about God, they're going to say, where's that evidence? Do the same thing to them. If they say, well, Jesus was really just copying somebody that met Mithras, he was born a virgin and Mithras was born a rock, so it's the same thing. It's like, all right, where's your evidence? Let's look at it, because it's really silly when you try to say that that rock was Mithras's mom, virgin mom. But again, I hope you guys had a good time watching this video. I had fun learning more about Mithras. And if you have any questions, any comments, please drop them down below. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. See you.